Learn English through story. The Alchemist's Garden. In the ancient city of Petra, known for its majestic architecture carved into rose-red cliffs, there lived an alchemist named Rashid. Rashid was not just any alchemist, he was renowned for his ability to transform ordinary substances into extraordinary ones. People traveled from far and wide to seek his expertise in turning base metals into gold, healing the sick, and creating elixirs of youth. Rashid's secret lay in a mystical garden hidden behind his modest home. This garden was unlike any other, filled with plants and herbs that possess magical properties. The garden itself was a gift from an old sage, who had entrusted Rashid with its care, warning him to use its power wisely and never for selfish gain. Despite his wisdom and skill, Rashid was a humble man. He lived simply, using his abilities to help those in need and never seeking wealth or fame. However, his fame inevitably attracted the attention of those driven by greed and ambition. One such person was Farid, a wealthy merchant whose insatiable desire for power and riches knew no bounds. Farid had heard tales of Rashid's garden and the miraculous things it could produce. He envisioned the garden's plants not as a source of healing or transformation, but as tools to amass even greater wealth. Determined to possess the garden's secrets, Farid visited Rashid under the pretense of seeking a cure for his ailing son. He brought lavish gifts and spoke with a silver tongue, gaining Rashid's trust over several visits. Rashid, unaware of Farid's true intentions, welcomed him into his home and even allowed him to see the garden. As Farid gazed upon the vibrant array of plants and herbs, he could barely contain his excitement. Each leaf, each blossom, seemed to shimmer with an otherworldly energy. Farid knew that with these plants, he could create elixirs that would make him richer and more powerful than ever before. Feigning gratitude, Farid asked Rashid many questions about the plants and their uses. Rashid, always eager to share his knowledge for the greater good, explained the properties of each plant and how they could be used to heal and transform. One night, under the cover of darkness, Farid returned to Rashid's home with a group of hired thieves. They broke into the garden, uprooting plants and stealing seeds, all while Rashid slept unaware. Farid's men took great care to avoid damaging the garden, hoping to leave no trace of their crime. The next morning, Rashid awoke to find his garden in disarray. Plants were missing, and the delicate balance he had maintained was disrupted. His heart sank, realizing that someone had taken what was meant to be a gift for all, not a tool for personal gain. Farid wasted no time in using the stolen plants. He hired alchemists and apothecaries to create powerful elixirs, selling them at exorbitant prices. His wealth and influence grew rapidly, and soon he was one of the most powerful men in Petra. However, the plants did not respond to Farid's touches they had to Rashid's. The elixirs he produced were potent but unstable, leading to unintended side effects. People who consumed them found temporary relief or enhancement, only to suffer greatly afterward. Farid, blinded by greed, ignored the warnings and continued his exploitation. Meanwhile, Rashid worked tirelessly to restore his garden. He knew that the plants were sensitive to the intentions of those who tended them, and he infused his efforts with care and positive energy. Slowly, the garden began to recover, but Rashid knew that balance would not be fully restored until the stolen plants were returned. One day, a desperate woman named Layla came to Rashid. Her husband had taken one of Farid's elixirs, hoping to cure a chronic illness, but now he was worse than ever. Layla begged Rashid for help, and he agreed to see what he could do. Rashid prepared a remedy from his remaining plants and went to Layla's home. There, he found many others who had suffered from Farid's elixirs. He realized that Farid's actions were causing widespread harm, and he resolved to put an end to it. Rashid confronted Farid in the market square, where the merchant was boasting about his latest concoction. "Farid, you have stolen from me and used the gifts of my garden for your own gain, causing suffering and despair. This must end." Farid sneered, surrounded by his guards and supporters. "You're a fool, Rashid. I've done what you couldn't to turn your precious plants into wealth and power." Rashid shook his head. "You have turned them into poison. The plants do not respond to greed and selfishness. Return what you have taken, and perhaps we can heal the damage you have caused." Farid laughed, but the crowd, now aware of the suffering caused by his elixirs, began to murmur. Slowly, the tide of public opinion turned against him. Farid's supporters backed away, leaving him isolated. Seeing no way out, Farid reluctantly agreed to return the stolen plants and seeds. Rashid took them back to his garden, replanting them with care and respect. Over time, the garden's balance was restored, and Rashid's work regained its former glory. Farid, stripped of his ill-gotten wealth and power, was left to reflect on his actions. He realized that true wealth lay not in material riches, but in the good one could do for others. Humbled, he sought Rashid's forgiveness and asked to learn the true ways of the garden. Rashid, ever compassionate, agreed to teach Farid. Together, they tended the garden, creating remedies and elixirs that healed and transformed lives. Farid learned that the magic of the garden came from a place of love and selflessness, and he dedicated himself to using its gifts for the benefit of all. In time, Farid became a trusted partner to Rashid, and the two men transformed Petra with their work. The city prospered, not through greed and exploitation, but through compassion and generosity. And so, the garden's legacy endured, a testament to the power of integrity and the true meaning of wealth. I hope you enjoyed the story. If you enjoyed, then please like and share this video, and don't forget to subscribe our YouTube channel. Thank you for watching.